Morning all, and welcome to episode 8 of our lockdown coaching program. Hope you're well, hope you've had a good week. Today we're going to be doing Backhops. So with the Backhop, ideally what we're going to be doing is finding that back wheel balance where we'd be for our manual, and then being able to move around with it. So from my point of view, a Backhop's really good for looking at the body movement for a multiple manual, be it a double manual, treble manual and so on. It's also a really good upper body strength training exercise. So if you haven't got any weight training equipment around, it's a really good way of training the upper body, keeping yourself in shape, and some great bike control too. A couple of key things that are really important for the Backhop. First one is the setup, being able to get that balance. So set up like you would for a gate start. Number two is getting the body movement right so you can actually get the front wheel up confidently. And the third one is being able to then apply the little hop, the back hop. So it's like a bunny hop. What we do first, I'll get set up, do a couple, and then we'll break it down as to how you can do it. So from the demo you can see there's a few very definite things that you need to be able to do first. So the first was that setup. I was very precise, made sure I had my pedals level, preferred foot forward, hands round on those grips, standing up nice and tall, nice and tight in the trunk. My hips would have been slightly in front of the seat, so slightly different to a gate setup. And then the next movement would be to bring the shoulders forward, bend the elbows and knees, compress the body a little. And then it's an upward and backwards diagonal movement with the hips and the shoulders to end up over the back wheel. Ideally your back's going to be up straight into that balanced position, and then we do a little compress with our knees and the elbows and pop up. The same with the bunny hop, the feet are going to be scooping the pedals as well, but the really important thing is to be confident to stay over the back wheel. So as you compress, if you come forward, you're going to start to drop the front. To stay over the back wheel helps you maintain that front wheel high and keeps the balance in place. Another thing that can happen with the back hop is as we start to hop, once you get the movement, you can start to feel that the pedals start going around. That's normally because you end up with too much weight on the back pedal. You want to really work on maintaining even pressure on the pedal so that the front foot doesn't become light. It's easy for that back foot to become heavier because it's slightly lower. That then brings the pedals around, takes the pedals out of a comfortable position, and means you're not going to be able to do as many hops as you might be able to do, or you might have to do a half crank back pedal, which starts to get more complicated. What we're going to do now then, we're going to look at the component parts. What you need is obviously something upright. I'm using the shed, but you can use a fence, a curb, a brick, whatever you've got available. Most important thing first thing, we're going to put the bike perpendicular to our upright. We're going to get our pedals level, so preferred foot forward. I'm going to make sure that my ball of my foot, the bony bunion's going to be right over the axle, and that means I've got a great placement of foot on the pedal, which is really going to help with my balance and stability. I'm going to keep my hips over the seat at this time, roll my hands forward, pressurise that front pedal before I put my brake on. Then I can bring myself up into my gate position, put my back foot on in a very solid position, the same as the front. At this point I can just practice the elbows and knees to get that compression so I can maintain that balance. Super important that you can do that movement pattern and balance at the same time, because obviously that's going to be the movement we're going to be doing with the front wheel in the air. Next thing we need to do then is get ourselves up on the pedals and work on that stepping off the back movement. So from here I'm going to compress my body, then I'm going to push my hips and my shoulders back and step off the back of the bike. You'll notice as I did that, I managed to not let the pedal spin back. As I said earlier, that's going to be a really important part for you to be able to get the Backhops going. So I managed to keep that pressure on the front foot as I lifted and then just gently stepped off the back. Being able to control that movement and step off the back safely is so important for your confidence, so that you know that if you do have to get off the bike at any time, you've already practiced that and it's not unnatural when it happens. So that's to getting the front up. The next thing we need to do then is work on that hop. So from our bunny hop that we did in an earlier video, we remember that we can press the body weight down over the front. So shoulders are going to be over your hands, over the bars. Hips are going to stay over the seat. And then as you compress, you're going to explode up and back. The hips and the shoulders are going to move in one movement, and they're going to go diagonally up and back. As the front wheel reaches a peak, you're going to start to unweight the back end, scoop the pedals with your feet, and bring the bike up to a level. It's a very similar movement with the back hop, but we don't need to over scoop, because what we don't want to do is start to hop and bring the bike level. We want to be hopping and keeping that bike on that back wheel. And again, that's going to simulate a multiple manual movement once we're on the track. So with the back hop, what we need to be doing is that slight bunny hop movement, scooping those feet but not overemphasizing that movement, and really ensuring that we maintain our hips over the back wheel, trying to keep our shoulders over our hips, and we just can move up and down in one plane, keeping ourselves over that back wheel at all times. So that's the back hop. Really simple move, really good upper body strength training move, and something that can be applied in a movement pattern on the track as well. There's a variety of things you can do to advance it and challenge yourself once you've got the basics. Obviously you can do as many as possible. You can do as many as possible and use a controlled space, so that rather than randomly just hopping and jumping around all over the place, you really start to control that movement. You can work on going backwards, you can work on going forwards, and apply the movement patterns the same, just work on challenging and advancing the move as much as you can. It's a really simple move in effect, but it's also a really good move to train the upper body and keep yourself fit, keep yourself agile, and keep yourself in touch with the bike. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you find it useful and something that you can use to help you build your skills on your bike and train your upper body and get yourself sharp when we get back on the track. Thanks for watching, and we'll put it all together and do it all again for number 9 next week. Stay safe out there.